Hello friends, this is our 11th lecture on culture and anarchy by Matthew Arnold, and the third based on the second chapter, that is doing as one likes. Now here the thrust is on state. What is state? State is the power most representative. State is the power most representing to control anarchy. If there is a central authority to control anarchy, and that is the state. But different people have different opinions about state. According to Mr. Carlin, it is aristocracy. According to Mr. Lowe, it is the middle class with its incomparable parliament. And according to the Reform League, according to the Reform League, they say that it is the working class. Now, what is the problem with each one of these? According to Matthew Arnold says, aristocracies, they are inaccessible to ideas. Inaccessible to ideas means they have some firm, sure opinions of their own, so they won't change it. That is inaccessible to new ideas. Have a method of a natural, they have got a natural tendency to cling to established facts. They don't want any change. Change, the famous law, change is the only thing that will not change, but it doesn't affect the aristocracy. And they lack a sense of the flux of things. Same thing. They don't accept any changes in society. Because why? Because once they accept changes, what will happen is that they will have to change. And then they will have to change for democracy. That's the problem. So the power, their power will slowly, there will be erosion will take place in their power. What about the working class? They have got insufficiency of light. Even Mr. Odger, see, one of the Mr. Odger, what is his name? Odger. Even Mr. Odger, what he says, according to him, who is very well, he has got a stand for the beautiful and the virtuous mean of our present, mean means Aristotle's mean of our present working class. He says that even for him, we can say there is insufficiency of light. See? That means light means reason, insufficiency of reason. And then here we have Matthew Arnold's own opinion. He says that we can as little find in the working class as in the aristocratic and the middle class our much wanted sense of authority, source of authority, as culture suggests it to us. So you can't depend on aristocracy, you can't depend on the middle class, you can't depend on the working class. Why? Because the much wanted source of authority is missing in them. Culture suggests to us. And what does culture suggest? So, rise above the class to the idea of the whole community. So the suggestion is that aristocracy can hold the power, middle class can hold the power, working class can hold the power, and then we come to know that each one is lacking in one or the other thing. So you cannot entrust them with the central authority. Understand? Each and every one of them, they are following their ordinary self, not their best self. That's the point. The point is that they are following the dictates of their ordinary self. Ordinary self, not their best self. And culture demands that you should follow the dictates or you should follow the orders of the best self. People of aristocratic class, middle class, working class, they want to affirm their ordinary selves. That's the point, ordinary selves. They are lacking in their best self. They want to follow their likings and dislikes. So by our everyday selves, Matthew Arnold says, who are we? We are separate persons at war. This is the real position of individuals. When you take each one separately, you will find that each one is at war with himself and also at war with his neighbor. Therefore, you cannot entrust authority, the central authority, to a particular class of people, for example, aristocracy or working class or middle class, or even an individual, because individuals are at war with himself as well as with the society. So we are only safe, Matthew Arnold says, we are only safe, therefore, from tyranny when we have no, that is, he says that we are safe from tyranny when no one has any power. Because the moment you hold the power, you will start fighting. So no one has any power, and this safety cannot save us from anarchy. What is the safety? Taking power from everyone. So if no one has power, then there is safety. But that kind of safety is not going to save you from anarchy. Then what can save you from anarchy? So when anarchy presents itself as a danger to us, we know not where to go. There it is. The individuals you cannot trust. So if you take power from individuals, and then we can say if nobody is powerful, then we can say that society or we are safe. But that is not a guarantee when anarchy presents itself to withstand anarchy or to prevent anarchical tendencies. So what does culture say? Culture suggests to us that it should be our best self. See, our best self should be followed by us. The orders of the best self should be taken by us. The best self should direct us. Because our ordinary self is inferior self. Ordinary self is inferior self, and when all these classes we have listed, aristocracy, middle class and working class, they are all following only the ordinary self, and therefore it is inferior self, and inferior self cannot be entrusted with your authority. They cannot save you. That's the thing. So what is this is that by the best thing that we can do is follow our best self. And there again he quotes Bishop Wilson. Bishop Wilson, his quotation is like this: firstly, never go against the best self you have. I will write it on the board for you because this is a very important statement by Bishop Wilson. And Bishop Wilson is someone whom Matthew Arnold has got great reverence and respect. So what does he say? Because he is a person who stands for culture, who stands for our best self. What is the best self? He defines. Firstly, never go against the best self you have. Firstly, never go against the best self you have. That's the first thing that you have to do. Bishop Wilson. So, this is the first thing that you have to do. And what is the second thing? That he says that secondly, he says, take care that your light be not darkness. Secondly, take care that your light be not darkness. Take care your light be not darkness. So there you have got the central idea of culture. When you follow your ordinary self, then there is a danger that you will be following darkness. So that should not happen. So our ordinary self is an inferior self. That is only darkness. So no authority can be given. And this ordinary self cannot impose authority on others. Because ordinary self is inferior self, not the best self. So Bishop Wilson says, first, never go against the best self you have. You have the best self. Then why do you follow ordinary self or inferior self? Another is, secondly, take care that it does not become a darkness. Understand that? Yes. So this famous notion is not to stagnate, don't think like that, stagnate or dwindle away new ideas or fresh ideas and perish miserably in anarchy and confusion. Don't misunderstand like that. Don't think that just by saying that you should always follow the best self, that no change should be accepted and so on and so on. It's not that we are stagnating. There's coming to a point of your fresh ideas. See that? That is not a stagnate, or you are not becoming, the society is not becoming stagnant. That is no movement, no progress, no further advancement. No. Don't think like that. It is neither stagnation nor it is a process of dwindling away into miserably perish into anarchy and confusion. No, not at all. But he says, great changes must happen. It should happen. And if it should happen, there should be revolution. Revolution means disorder. Disorder means great changes. But in any disorder or any revolution, there should be order. If there is no order, there is no point in a revolution, because what happens is that without order and settled and a secured sense, a sense of security and settled life, nothing, no society can ever achieve anything. So, for a change, there may be revolution. Revolution should happen, but this revolution should finally end up in order, establishing an order. Otherwise, chaos. And chaos, nothing can happen. No happiness, no progress. So revolution will not accomplish anything if there is no order. And if there should be order, there should be central authority. And the central authority should be the collective reason, the best self, collective reason of the best selves. So, when you find that there is a risk of tumult and disorder, you find multitudinous processions, and then in the streets of crowded towns. So what are they doing? Actually, it is chaotic. The whole society becomes chaotic. The streets are crowded. The towns are crowded. Then you have got multitudinous processions, and you have on the streets, and also multitudinous meetings in public parks and public places. Or again, demonstration, totally unnecessary demonstrations. What will happen is that our best self, we ourselves are burying. So our best self should say to the right reason, and right reason is the state. The state means, it is, the definition of state here is the state and organ of our collective best self of our national right reason. So our collective best self and the national right reason we must exhort, we must support to take action. Otherwise what will happen? There will always remain chaos. Multitudinous meetings, multitudinous processions in our, we are now experiencing these things, isn't it? Processions in our streets, meetings in public places, in public parks, corner meetings. So traffic violation, rules of traffic violated. Then again, traffic bottlenecks are created. See, all such things will only throw the society into confusion and anarchy. In such cases, what should we do? We should strengthen the state. And what is the state? The collective reason. What is the state again? The collective best reason. What is the state again? The collective best reason and the national right reason. So, finally we come to this conclusion. Chapter 2, doing as one likes. You cannot do like that, because and there should be a central authority. The central authority cannot be entrusted with aristocracy, because they are inaccessible to ideas. Then middle class you cannot, because they have got what happens to them is that they lack sense for the order. See, the best self. And working class, you cannot because they have insufficiency of light. See, I suppose you follow that. Therefore, each class is lacking in one or the other thing. So classes should not be, however you may think that they are great, you should not end the central authority with the classes. Understand? So we should rise above the classes, class level. We should rise above our ordinary selves. Because our ordinary selves are inferior self. So we should have always follow the best self. And then take this slogan or this advice given by Bishop Wilson. What is that? That you must always, firstly, never go against the best self you have. And secondly, see that it does not become dark. So you should always keep wise. So the best self, the guidance of Bishop Wilson is the best thing that we can follow. Then he says, and our best self is our authority. The best self inspires faith and is capable of affording a serious, we can say, process of authority, a principle of authority, a process and principle of authority. Only the best self can do. Only the best self is capable of doing that. Therefore, follow that. This famous nation, he says, is not to stagnate and dwindle away. That is the thing. This famous nation means England. So don't think that just because you are following authority, you are allowing the state, this famous nation to perish and dwindle away in confusion. No. You are necessarily, changes are required. Changes should be in the form of revolution, but at the end of the revolution there should be order and not chaos. Revolution should never end in chaos. It should end in order. A sense of security, a settled order. Without that, no society, no place anywhere in the world can you achieve anything. No progress. So it is the duty of each and every one of us who has got this best self to ask or strengthen the arms of the state which is the collective, the best reason, the state which has got you can see the right reason. They should be asked to act against all kinds of chaotic tendencies such as multitudinous meetings, multitudinous demonstrations, multitudinous processions, multitudinous meetings in public places, corner meetings and parks and so on. So the right reason should take action against it. Then that will be an antidote or a deterrent to anarchy. I hope that you have been following me very well. So the first three, now this is third lecture based on the second chapter, that is doing as one likes. Then when you start the first and second chapter together, now this is the 11th lecture. I hope that you are following, you are enjoying my classes. And so for the timing we will wind up and we will come again. I will stand again before you with chapter 3 of Culture and Anarchy. That is aristocracy, that is barbarians, Philistines, and the working class he calls populace. So aristocracy he calls barbarians. You know the meaning of barbarians, isn't it? Uncultured people. And then the middle class he calls, what's the name? Philistines, greedy, running after wealth. And the third he calls populace. Populace, not hopeless, but populace. Understand? So these things we will see what according to Matthew Arnold is aristocracy, what according to Matthew Arnold is aristocracy, then populace, then Philistines, etc. We will see in the next lecture. Till then, bye, have a nice time, enjoy your life.